Sports pregame show.
Hello and welcome, everybody. Ernie Johnson, Shaquille O'Neal, Kenny the Jet Smith. We're glad to have you with us on 2K Sports. Moments away, it'll be the Chicago Bulls going up against the Indiana Pacers. For Indiana, it's been sort of a middle-of-the-road start to the season for them as they sit at 5-5 through 10 games. We'll see what side of 500 they wind up on after tonight. One of the guys to watch tonight, Monte Ellis, such an explosive player at times, really dangerous when the fourth quarter rolls around, Shaq.
Yeah, Ellis, a.k.a. Baby AI, still has the speed to force defenders off of him. He's improved in the mid-range game also, but he can punish teams, especially if they disrespect him and give him space.
Well, the best thing that he can do is create for himself. That is a talent, to be able to get that many shots off at that clip, because consistently he can get off 4 or 5 shots in 5 possessions. That's impressive.
Is he going to be an all-star one of these days?
When his team wins and he has these numbers, he will be an all-star.
With the game about to start, we head to Kevin Harlan. He's got the call.
The starting lineup for the visiting Indiana Pacers. At center, Miles Turner. At shooting guard, Monte Ellis. At the other guard position, Jeff Teague. At power forward, Thaddeus Young. At the other forward position, Paul George. The head coach of the visiting team is Frank Vogel. Starting at small forward, standing 6'8", number 3, Doug McDermott. Starting at point, at 6'3", number 6, Jose Alvarado. The other forward position, 6 feet 10 inches, number 44, Nikola Mirotic. In the middle, at 7 foot 0 inches, number 8, Robin Lopez. At guard, 6'7" from Marquette, number 21, Jimmy Butler. The head coach is your home team. The starting lineup for your
Welcome, sports fans. Thanks for joining us. And it's time for NBA basketball on 2K Sports. Along with Greg Anthony and Clark Kellogg, this is Kevin Harlan. We are in the Windy City, Chicago United Center to be exact, home of the Bulls.
All right, ready to go?
And, of course, Derrick Rose. See how they continue to fare without him.
Well, Kevin, no question it's a risky deal to make because you can sometimes sour your fans when you do that. I mean, trading one of the most popular players on the team is always high risk, no matter what you get in return.
Yeah, but it's a trade that I'm sure a lot of fans will second guess. Clearly a bold move, but as a GM, these are the things that are supposed to happen. You're going to bring scrutiny, and you just have to wait and see how this plays out. You have to focus on the big picture and what's going to be best for your organization moving forward.
Let's check out Indiana's starting lineup. We've got Ellis. Turner is out there with Young. Then it's Paul George, and it's T in at the point guard. Lopez kicks to Calderon. They shoot again and fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2.
And you don't ever want to get into the habit of letting the offense get to the rim.
Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, that's the message they were sending with that foul. Nothing easy inside.
Well, what a season it was for Mirotic last year. Came on stronger for the Chicago Bulls. Continued to improve, effective in the playoffs. really a joy to watch in his first year.
And interesting, so much hype going into the season was about Dougie McDermott.
Yes.
Whether or not he was going to be in the running for Rookie of the Year. And it ended up being Mirotic. Most years, he could have walked away with that award.
And so Mirotic nails both of them.
For Mirotic, he was most valuable late in games, guys. From March on, he led the league in fourth quarter points per game.
Now, here's George. He had a 21-point outing in their last game against Minnesota.
Boy, was he physical, in that game. Just drawing a lot of contact and getting himself to the line over and over.
Now, here's Calderon. Paul George unable to get his shot to go. Teague against Calderon. 6 on the shot clock. Down low, here's McDermott. Jeff Teague with the rebound.
And for that note about Mirotic, in the fourth, he outscored LeBron and Westbrook that month. That's impressive for any player, much less a rookie.
Nice pass that time. What excellent vision by Jeff Teague out there.
Now Calderon. 11-point game his last outing. Out to the right wing. Mirotic passes to McDermott. Mirotic inside. He's against Young. Off on the layup.
Yeah, scoreless here early after their first 4 shots. They right now are searching for a bucket.
From 15 feet away, can't get it to go. Now Chicago takes it the other way. They defeated Charlotte in their last game.
And if you look at the box score from that game, guys, the first thing you'll notice is how many turnovers they forced.
And one thing the box score doesn't show us is how many points came as a direct result of those turnovers. But I think it was a huge factor.
McDermott with the steal. Here's Calderon. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2. One thing about Jose Calderon, you could see the frustration in him last season, playing a career-low 42 games, and his averages were down pretty much, Greg, across the board.
Yeah, and Kevin, he was brought in to kind of invigorate the Knicks' point guard position, but following a preseason calf injury, he missed the team's first 13 games and never was able to really get going. Remember, coming into a new system where he had to learn how to play differently, and then after all that, you have to shut him down because of that left Achilles.
That's good from Calderon.
And getting back to Jose Calderon, he's been an extremely efficient shooter for a point guard, 48% from the field throughout his career. But last season, he couldn't hit it at all. He dropped down to 41%.
He makes 1 of 2 that time.
And, on the topic of Jose Calderon, his game is predicated on getting others involved. Last season, he had Carmelo Anthony to throw it to, and really pretty much no one else. So defenders could key on him a little more, causing him, I thought, to become just a little less efficient.
Here's Ellis. And Mirotic sends it back. And out of bounds it is. Last touch by Mirotic. And here in the first, about 3 minutes in. Kicks it out to Ellis. Young sets a screen for Ellis. That doesn't go either for Ellis. First outing for Indiana. They won that game against the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Was not even close. They had points coming from all over the place.
Yeah, they stayed true to the game plan offensively and never strayed at all. Impressive performance.
Lopez. The rebound by Turner. Indiana's gone 1 of 2 from long range in the first quarter. George with no one around. Good, and the assist goes to Ellis. George has got his second bucket of the night. Let's go quickly over to Doris Burke for an update.
Earlier I spoke with Frank Vogel. This is their first matchup of the season against this squad, and he knows the shot blocking in the middle will certainly be an obstacle. But but he said, quote, "We've got to remain aggressive and continue to attack." Guys, he said that putting their bigs in high pick and rolls and shooting the open jumper with confidence will be key. We'll see how they do.
All right, Doris, thanks. Well, guys, they're thinking mainly about how to tackle the defense they're facing.
And that's got to be the focus. It takes a lot of game planning to come up with ways to put points on the board consistently against these guys.
And we know this coach is very comfortable game planning. He'll have a lot of ideas of how to attack this defense today.
And he's good on the 3-ball. George has got 8 points.
He's having quite the quarter here, guys. I mean, shooting the ball extremely well.
Calderon against T. Calderon dishes to Lopez. Now here's Calderon. Defense right on him. Good work defensively by Turner. 14 feet away. Rebounded by McDermott. For Chicago, they've gone just 2 of 8 shooting so far, just 25%.
That's his first personal foul.
Some changes for Chicago. Gibson comes in for Mirotic, and it's Grant in for Jose Calderon. Mahimi's checked in for the Pacers. Lawson comes in for Teague. Ellis against Butler. Left side, Gibson. Lock at 6. The kick outside to Butler. Oh, good with the triple.
And already they've staked out a noticeable advantage in terms of aggression and controlling the backcourt.
And the trend they love to continue right through the next 3 quarters as well, Greg.
I tell you what, he has quite the act to follow, but Fred Hoiberg was a quick choice for the brass in Chicago. Signed that 5-year deal over the summer, was easily one of the most in-demand coaches available.
Back to Lopez, and there's the feed to Gibson. The Pacers pull it in. Lawson drives in, and Butler sends it back, and they get it back. Bulls trail by 3. Clark, they've been looking out of sync offensively.
You know what? A basket here would do a lot for their confidence.
Lopez, a screen on Ellis. That's a 2 from Butler. Butler can't get that one to fall. Well, Greg, for Hoiberg, it's his first job as an NBA head coach. Now, we know he played. He's been a part of an NBA front office. Clark, he came from Iowa State, where he honed his coaching skills and was highly respected.
Yeah, very much respected, particularly as an offensive coach. And we know the Bulls are pretty solid defensively, and he'll be looking to ramp up that offensive approach for that team, and I think he will.
And the first time out of the game called for Chicago. Monte Ellis has always had a knack for the big shot when things are on the line. He is a guy that is not afraid to step up.
And Kevin, last season, he had a number of big second halves and 4th quarters for the Mavs. Really took over that primary scoring role from Dirk Nowitzki. Stole a lot of games from him last season.
For Chicago, Portis, he's checked in for Lopez. Dunleavy comes in for McDermott, and Tony Snell subbed in for Jimmy Butler. The Pacers also changing it up. Jordan Hill, he's checked in for Young. C.J. Miles comes in for George. Rodney Stuckey subbed in for Monte Ellis.
Yeah, Monte did have a lot of big second halves for the Mavs last season. Seems like at least half a dozen.
And that kind of defense ain't going to get it done.
Gee, we don't see those kinds of dunks out of him all the time, but we know he's got it in him.
There's no doubt about that, fellas. I mean, the more finishes like that he gets, the more his confidence will grow.
Special thanks to Kia for that sweet Kia Slam Cam replay. Here's Stuckey. Rebound collected by Snell.
And no excuse there for missing that one after being freed up by a great pick.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean, they came away empty, but they got the look they wanted, and really, I like the movement and communication there.
Lawson kicks to Mahinmi. That one falls, coming off Lawson's feet. Lawson's got 3 assists in the game. Bulls trail by 3, and the pass to Snell. For the 3. The shot, no good. So the Pacers will take it the other way. And going against Chicago, their first meeting of the season.
Yeah, 2 conference rivals. I mean, they'll play each other a total of 4 times this season.
Yeah, plenty of opportunity here, guys, to get on each other's bad side. I mean, if they weren't already. Should make for some fairly high drama.
Grant the pass to Snell. Outside Gibson. Pass to Portis. Shakes him, and that one is stuck right through.
Boy, he made a nice little bounce pass there. We call that the pocket pass, and he did it well.
Here's Lawson. Jacks up a 3. No good. Chicago's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. There's the pick. Grant with the ball. He feeds it to Gibson. Passes it to Snell. Back to Gibson. And he goes strong with the one-handed jam.
And Kevin, that's a little taste of what can happen when the big guy takes it up strong.
Well, I guess he does have it in him then to get up off the ground when he needs to and rock it to the rim.
Yeah, you know, guys, he's never going to elevate that high, but he compensates and makes up for it with his height.
And Lawson, here we go. And the wide open shot from Stuckey. Off target with the open look. Chicago trailing here. Pass to Portis. And count the basket. He was fouled and he's going to the line for one more.
How about battling through the impact there and then willing that basketball in?
Boy, it does your heart good to see that kind of determination in a player. Really excellent focus that time.
The Bulls making a switch here. Gasol's checked in. On the free throw, no good. Last season, the Bulls were a tough matchup, solid margin of victory for them, and never looked overwhelmed club.
Yeah, you know what? They're a team that's even-keeled, the type of team that can win anytime they take the floor. They have a system that works and good talent, actually excellent talent to make it special. That combination is a winning one.
So the Pacers call timeout, their first of the game.
You know what? I think he had to call timeout right now just to get his guys to regroup because they were really ragged out there.
Yeah, they've got to get some things straightened out, and sometimes the best way to do that is with a timeout. They look to be overwhelmed right now.
Yeah, just frustrated by their lack of production offensively, and I can't blame them. I mean, they're getting the looks, but the shots just aren't falling.
Yeah, and the slump that they're having shooting the ball can take its toll on you if you're not mentally strong. So I like this timeout here to try to get those guys reset and refocused.
Pacers trail by 4. Lawson outside. Stuckey, a screen on Grant. Lawson dishes to Stuckey. Back to Lawson. Just 5 on the clock. Out to Stuckey. And they get it. Here's Mahimi. The layup off target. The Bulls leading by 4. Guys, they've been getting it done.
They sure have been. I mean, really looking good and sharp offensively.
They came out with a mission, and they have been tough to stop.
Snell kicks to Grant. The Pacers pull it in.
There's no getting around the simple fact that that's a shot he has to knock down.
Guys, they're looking for a spark here.
Yeah, I mean, a cold stretch offensively. They desperately need a basket.
Hill passes to Lawson. Lawson is doubled. Kicks to Miles. Indiana moving the ball away. Here's Stuckey. Indiana again missing.
And he rushed that one, no doubt about it. The D out of position, you could see the frustration on his face.
Grant kicks to Dunleavy. It's stolen by Mahimi. Here's the floater. And there's the foul on the shot. He'll go to the line for 2. While we've got a moment, let's now take a look at the teams that have the most second chance points on the season. Number 1, the Bulls. The Pacers in 5th.
You know, both of these teams really look to hammer the offensive glass on a nightly basis. So some commonalities between them. This should be a physical battle tonight.
All right, now, take a break. Take a break. 2 shots.
And that one misses.
And Rodney Stuckey, a combo guard out of Eastern Washington, played a big role for the Pacers a season ago.
Mirotic is checked in for Chicago. Calderon comes in for Grant, then for the Pacers. Turner comes in for Mahimi. And it's Teague in for Ty Lawson. You were talking about Stuckey. He did play well in his first year with the Pacers. Clark, he helped them as a starter and off the bench.
Yeah, really had his most efficient year scoring the ball to date. And more than his scoring and what he brought on the court, his presence in the locker room and professionalism. You talk to the people around the Pacers, he was a breath of fresh air on a team that has a number of fresh air guys.
No one near him. And the shot is good.
It took him a while, but he finally gets one to fall.
Teague against Calderon. There's the dish to Snell. They set the pick for 3, Dunleavy. And that's collected by Hill.
It's still early, but they've started to establish themselves on the glass here.
Yeah, scrappy, Clark, for each and every rebound. They are not backing down.
Stuckey drives inside. Teague misses the layup.
And this is why you need good defenders on the interior to contest shots.
Yeah, Greg, making every shot a hard one, even the shots in close.
And still a close game as the first quarter comes to a close. It's the Bulls up by 3. From the United Center in Chicago, back in a moment. And the Gasol brothers, both starters in the All-Star game last season. It's the first time that's happened in NBA history. Pau talked about the joy of sharing the NBA stage with his brother Mark.
It's like a dream come true. It's hard to really picture it. I'm just proud to be Mark's brother, and I'm proud of what he's become as a basketball player and as a man.
Well, their story is a bit like a fairy tale, the way 2 of them, sons of medical professionals in Spain, have become 2 of the best centers in the NBA at this age.
Yeah, and especially, Kevin, when you remember what a raw talent and how big and bulky Marc Gasol was when he was drafted by the Lakers, who traded him to Memphis for his brother.
And we got a close game here as we get back to the second quarter. Looking at what we've seen for the Bulls, what do you guys think?
I just don't know that you're going to see a better quarter defensively than what we saw in the first.
Really a big part of why they're on top here. The defense has been on point.
And now let's check out the lineups courtesy of Gatorade, all fueled up and ready to go. Here's the second quarter of play. On the court for Indiana. Young out there with Paul George. Then it's Turner. Then there's Ellis. And it's Teague in at the 1. Ellis can't get it to go. The Bulls leading by 3. Now here's Butler. He picked up 24 points in their last one against Charlotte.
And defensively, guys, he was just all over the place, forcing turnovers and applying terrific ball pressure.
Ellis dishes to George. Second quarter, and we're just over a minute in. Back to Ellis. This one for 3. But they recover it. Here's Young, and Gibson sends it down. Fast break, here comes Chicago. And Butler gets it to go on the assist by Calderon. And now an 8-point Bulls lead. And now we'll get perspective here on how the hustle game has been going for the Bulls.
Well, you have to admire their intensity in the paint defensively. I mean, really contesting and even blocking shots. Definitely a factor early.
And the other thing that's been equally as effective is the fact that they've gotten out on the fast break. A lot of points coming in transition.
Chicago's gone 1 of 2 on 3-pointers here in the second quarter so far. Mirotic passes to Lopez. Looking for Gibson. He gets it there.
And, you know, guys, Taj Gibson now is 6 full seasons in the NBA. Already 30 years old. Seems like just yesterday he was being drafted.
For Chicago, they have made 3 of their first 5 foul shots tonight.
2 shots.
That's good from Gibson. McDermott's checked in for Chicago. Grant comes in for Jose Calderon. Indiana also making some changes. Mahimi's checked in for Turner. And Ty Lawson subbed in for Jeff Teague. No good on the second free throw. Pacers trail by 9. They could use a big shot here to get this offense going.
Sure could, Kevin. I mean, too many empty trips. They need some points.
That drops.
Assistant.
Getting back to Gibson, he was one of the oldest college freshmen in the country at age 21. Played 3 years at USC. Then he was one of the oldest players in the 2009 draft, even though he declared as a junior.
Yeah, I think the NBA is the only profession where it hurts you to have a lot of experience coming out, because that's one reason why he did drop. I mean, had he been a couple years younger, with his length and athleticism, he very well could have been a top 10 pick. But I tell you what, the Bulls are happy that he wasn't. No, I tell you what, he earned his money on that foul.
Yeah, if you're going to foul, then make sure that you don't give a chance for the and one. Well, one thing about Ty Lawson is he's very good at attacking the defense. Gets inside without a problem and knows how to set up teammates.
The free throw drops for Lawson. And for Lawson, he is great when he attacks. He does obviously create well for his team on drives. Interesting player, certainly. But playing with a team that's growing and pretty young around him.
A good point. And, last season, Lawson averaged about 13 points for his team off of his own drives. I mean, that means 13 points a night would be a direct result of him attacking the rim. That's second in the league in a stat that only trailed James Harden.
I think that would surprise some people.
Yes.
Grant kicks to Lopez. Now here's McDermott, defended by George. Grant gets a wide open look. Here's Gibson, lays it up and banks it in. Gibson's got his 3rd basket of the night right there.
Really nice job to convert the putback opportunity there. I mean, he stayed with that play from start to finish. That's something we say about him a lot.
Here's Ellis. In it goes. That's his 3rd bucket. He's missed 5 so far.
The D on him has to be airtight, guys. You got to get into his airspace. And that was far from it.
Grant outside. Count that one. Grant's got his first points in this one.
Your heads-up aggressive play right there. Saw the smaller man on him and took it straight to the basket.
Lawson kicks to George. The teardrop falls in. George has got 10 points in the game.
Oh, terrific way to finish that move there, going to the basket.
The Bulls leading by 5. Grant kicks to Lopez. It's tipped. Gibson dishes to Grant. Gibson the screen. Grant the pass to McDermott. Pacers with the rebound. Young's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Lawson kicks to Ellis. George, that's a 2-pointer. Chicago grabs the miss.
When he's wide open like that, he'll rarely miss those.
Here's Butler. That ball is in the basket. Now he's shot 6 and made 3 of them.
Really well done there. Just confident and composed, never in a hurry.
Ellis dishes to Lawson. George against Grant. And George, here we go. Good on the shot. George has got 12 points in the game.
And how's that for a move? The killer crossover. That's a thing of beauty.
Everyone understands the importance of Paul George to the ball club. That's why taking his offensive game to the next level would be so beneficial.
Yeah, he has all the physical tools, the instincts, and obviously he has made those strides. But if he wants to become a top 5 guy, he's still got a little bit of work to do in terms of his game.
Chicago calls timeout.
For my man PG, Paul George, so much focus has been on extending his range, but ever since he started launching over 5 3-pointers a game, he shot under 43% from the field. Maybe time for him to balance out that shot selection.
So here is Chicago, leading by 5.
And guys, talking about Paul George, the continued improvement of his ball handling is key to generating more offense. That was a weakness of his coming out of college. He's worked on it, but making it a strength the way LeBron has would go a long way toward getting him to that next level.
Ellis against Butler. Lopez kicks to Butler. From deep 3-point range, Thaddeus Young grabs the miss. Young's got his 4th rebound in this one. Ellis outside, takes the 3. And it's Chicago with the rebound.
Well, not really his best quarter as far as scoring. Let's see.
Wow, and that sort of showmanship is just deflating right now to a team trying Clark to get back into this game like this.
Yeah, definitely a jam with emphasis. A big apostrophe or exclamation point. How about maybe even a question mark, partner?
Yeah, I would have to say there are a lot of questions right now from a defensive standpoint. That's for sure.
And it's Butler with the jam.
Quick hands on the steal and then just bad hops on the slam.
Great sequence for them defensively and Clark offensively.
Well, one usually leads to the other, Kevin. That's just good, aggressive, attacking basketball at both ends.
And Commissioner Silver taking a bold stance on sports betting. I mean, going in the last season, he wrote that op-ed piece saying that it needs to be legalized federally and basically brought into the light of day.
Time called here. Indiana decides to talk it over. And for Commissioner Silver arguing for legalized sports betting, that's a major reversal from what most sports commissioners Clark had said in the past.
Yeah, you know, I like his open-mindedness, not just about that issue, but a number of issues that confront the league. And, you know, he's right in regards to the gambling. With the internet, people are making these bets anyway, so it makes sense for the league to take a look at it.
Chicago making some changes. Portis, he's checked in for Gibson. And Tony Snell subbed in for Jimmy Butler. Then for the Pacers, Jordan Hill, he's checked in for Mahimi. C.J. Miles comes in for George. Rodney Stuckey subbed in for Ellis. Lawson drives in. It's deflected. Out to Stuckey. This is to Lawson. Back to Young. 5 to shoot. McDermott with a double team. Another shot. They get it again. Hill. It's good, and he drew contact on the shot, so he will go to the line. A 3-point play chance here. And this is his first trip to the line tonight. Mike Dunleavy, who's checked in for Doug McDermott.
One shot. One shot.
Well, the Pacers, despite all their injuries from last season, were right in the playoff hunt until the very end. Had a chance, in fact, GA, on the last day to sneak in, but it didn't happen.
Yeah, they needed a Brooklyn loss to go along with them winning that last game. Ultimately, though, it wasn't in the cards for them, and they ended a game out of the postseason.
No good from Grant.
Nice effort anyway to change his shot and get around the defender. Maybe next time.
Lawson outside. Feeds to Stuckey. And it's Chicago with the rebound. Snell's got his third rebound tonight.
And, you know, the Pacers have made the playoffs in each of the last 4 seasons prior to last year's miss. Hard for a team that was coming off back-to-back conference finals appearances to stomach that. But with the injuries, they'll be better and back in the playoffs next year, I'm sure.
Dunleavy for 3. It's rebounded by Lawson. Pacers trail by 6. One-on-one here. Here's Stuckey. From down in the low post, it goes. Stuckey's got 5 points so far.
And that's how the coach would draw it up on the fast break from start to finish.
Yeah, and what a finish it was, guys. Really nicely done.
Snell, the pass to Portis. And it's sent back by Hill. For 3, Dunleavy. Cannot hit. And Indiana will come the other way.
Not able to find it here in the second. He's off stride and off track just a bit after that one he had earlier.
And really, it's going to be more of a reload than a rebuild situation for the Pacers. You would have to imagine their goal isn't just to get back to the playoffs, but to get back to being a conference final participant.
Indiana's gone 0-3 from beyond the arc to start the second quarter. Stuckey kicks to Hill. He dishes it to Miles. That's good. Miles has got his first basket of the night.
They have repeatedly probed inside in the first half, guys, and it's paid dividends.
And with as many points as they've gotten in the paint, you know, they haven't had to do much work on the perimeter.
Grant kicks to Snell. And 2 free throws coming up as he misses that one. Drawing the whistle and a lot of contact there.
And no doubt last season the Bulls were clearly preparing for the playoffs. They played their rookies but added a lot of playoff seasoned veterans to that roster.
As you mentioned, the Bulls added veteran leaders last season. Pau Gasol was the notable one. 11 Bulls Clark had playoff experience prior to their postseason run a season ago.
And that's invaluable, Kevin, to have that kind of experience. I mean, having Gasol, 2-time champion in the locker room, big. As is having almost a dozen guys who understand the intensity and the details that playoff basketball requires.
Catching up on the changes for Chicago. Mirotic comes in for Robin Lopez, and it's Calderon in for Grant. Then for the Pacers, Turner's checked in for Young, and it's Teague in for Ty Lawson. And so he hits both.
There's not a lot you can say that hasn't been said before about his skill at the charity stripe.
Pacers trail by 7. Outside Hill. Teague sets a screen for Hill. There's a screen. Jacks up a 3. Offensive rebound. Teague dishes to Turner. misses the layup.
The defense ready for him on that possession. They had to be, because he is so strong in the paint.
Calderon against T. There's the pass to Portis. Here's Mirotic, and that one is hammered home.
That's as forceful a finish as you're ever going to see out of this guy.
Well, gee, it adds now to their lead in spectacular fashion.
And, you know, that lead's only going to grow if they're not prepared to defend a little more staunchly than that.
And for C.J. Miles, he sure can string together a long line of threes under the league with a nice jump shot that has now become deadly.
Yeah, he doesn't get to the free throw line much, and he's not really much of a playmaker, but he's 3D in color. HD 3D.
No good on the free throw.
And talking about C.J. Miles, he was filthy last year. Indiana needed his spark offensively, especially without Paul George in the lineup. Miles responded by putting up career highs in points and minutes played. Just an unbelievable impact on the season.
And the second free throw, good.
And for most every team out there, guys, they're looking for a guy like C.J. Miles. Decent size, natural movement skills, and can absolutely shoot the lights out. Call him buckets, because that's a lethal formula. You know, even though he missed that one, great shooters have a way of feeling when they've got enough room to pull the trigger.
There's no doubt about it. The defense, you can see him exhaling right now. Fortunate that he didn't knock that one down.
Some nice passing here by Indiana. Turner with a screen for Stuckey. And a foul on the shot. He'll go to the stripe for two. It's going to go on Nikola Mirotic.
And they're getting to the line a lot in this quarter, guys, and it hasn't been by accident.
Yeah, I don't think it's an accident that aggressiveness correlates with playing better. So the aggressiveness is starting to pay off.
Pacers have missed 2 free throws in the game, going 5 for 7.
And the season numbers for them at the line thus far are really poor. Something I'm sure they are making a point of emphasis.
You know, they've really put themselves behind the 8 ball in so many of their games because they just have not been able to knock down those foul shots.
No good on the second, so he hits 1 of 2.
Just not much success when it comes to shooting. And the Pacers just missed out on the playoffs last year and would have to settle for 9th in the East. Hard for a team that has been so dominant in the East over recent seasons.
A chance to extend the lead to double digits, but it's no good.
Even though he isn't having the best of games from the floor, it hasn't seemed to hurt him.
Got a piece of it, and he's able to get it back. The feed now to Miles. And once again off the mark by Indiana. The Bulls leading by 7. And for the Pacers against the East, they actually played the rest of the conference. Greg very well ended with a 28-24 record, Clark, against the East.
The only team, Kevin, in the East with a winning record against the rest of the conference not to make the playoffs. Only went 10-19 against the playoff teams in the conference.
All right, now, gentlemen, 2 shots. Roof shots.
Free throw drops for Dunleavy. Bulls made the postseason for the 10th time in their last 11 seasons. Last year, they have become a fixture, Greg, in the playoffs in the East.
And how about last season, Kevin, had that interdivision matchup in their first round against the up-and-coming Bucks. Some hiccups for them in that series, but they were able to prevail.
He doesn't get the second one.
Boy, in that playoff series against the Bucks, the Bulls looked like they were primed for an upset as they started slowly. Eventually pulled it together and came in as the underdogs against the Cavs.
That doesn't go in either for G. The Bulls leading by 8. Calderon with it. Picked up by Turner. To the left side wing. Snell kicks to Calderon. Pass to Mirotic. And the Bulls with another miss.
And the Cavs knocked out the Bulls in 6 games. Bulls went up 2-1 in the series, but didn't have an answer for LeBron. Strong effort from the Bulls, though, but they just couldn't match the firepower of the Cavs.
40 seconds left to play here in the half. And fouled hard that time. He'll get to the line and shoot 2.
That's his 3rd personal foul.
For Chicago, they have gone 7 of 11 from the line.
Yeah, a year ago, though, Kevin, 78% conversion rate from the free throw line. So that's a nice all-around effort.
You know, this season versus last, they've seen a decrease in their success at the free throw line.
Chicago making a switch here. Butler's checked in. George is checked in for the Pacers. Both shots good from the stripe.
You know, for the Pacers last season, with Paul George being out for most of the season, they knew it would be a struggle. They would go into lengthy dry spells that made it hard for them to keep pace in the East, in part because they missed Paul George's all-around brilliance and his offense.
Calderon, no good. Pacers trail by 8. Stuckey passes to George. With 4 seconds on the clock, bounces high off the rim and drops. George has got 6 here in this quarter.
You know, that part of the floor, guys, is more or less his real sweet spot, right in his wheelhouse.
And that does it for the first half of play. Bulls lead by 6. And now we'll send it down to Doris Burke, who's standing by courtside.
Guys, I'm here with Jose Calderon. Jose, what's working for the team so far, and what do you guys need to do in the second half?
I think we're just helping each other. You know, it's not about one guy. It's everybody. They got really good players out there, so we're just trying to help each other and keep the turnovers down and just don't let them run to their place comfortable. So I think that's the key.
It takes the entire team, Jose. Thanks for the time. Gentlemen?
All right, Doris, thank you, and stay with us, folks. We'll be back just after halftime to get the third quarter underway.
And now, the 2K Sports Halftime Show.
Hello again, everybody. Ernie Johnson here alongside Kenny, the Jet Smith, and Shaquille O'Neal. We'll be looking back at the game's first half. It was a closely contested first quarter for Chicago. At the end of the period, they held a 3-point lead. And Kenny, what did you think about what you saw from Chicago?
Well, the reserves really came through when they needed a spark. This is a close game. Any points you can get from your bench are huge. I thought the bench guys came in and inserted themselves like they wanted a starting spot. And that's what you want. Subs who are ready to produce the moment they step on the floor.
Shaq, your take on Indiana.
Well, I thought the one bright spot was the effort on the glass. Several times when momentum was sliding, getting a timely rebound really lifted them. The strong work on the glass is key because that's how you string together a series of big stops.
And that's it for halftime as the second half is just about to get underway. See you after the game.
Well, both sides have assessed what they need to do over the break in halftime. We'll see now if one can pull out a way here in the third. Paul George really making a difference here.
I know we've said this many times before, but what a great first half. Just an offensive juggernaut.
And, you know, in the end, I wouldn't be surprised if we're talking about what a great second half he had, guys. I mean, he can usually keep it going for all 4 quarters.
The Bulls leading by 6. Butler and McDermott filling out the perimeter. Mirotic out there with Robin Lopez. And it's Calderon in at the point guard position. And that's the group for Fred Hoiberg as we begin the second half. Fades. Good. And 12 points for Jimmy Butler.
I mean, he was great in his last game, Clark, and clearly he has not lost that love and feel.
Turner with a screen on Calderon. A nice shot by Teague.
Perfect screen there. Set him up with a terrific look.
Yeah, I like the fact that the setup was good, the screen was solid, but you also have to look at the fact that the defender didn't do his job as well as he could have.
Calderon dishes to Butler. Lopez right side. Turner with the steal. Teague at the elbow. And Butler sends it back. They retain possession. Shots good by Ellis.
Assisted by Miles Turner.
And here in the second half of play, we're just over a minute in. Calderon kicks to Butler. Lopez passes to Butler. He feeds it to Calderon. Passes it to McDermott. Pocket 6. And it's off from three-point range. Fast break. Here comes Indiana. George with the ball. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
Tell you what, Monte Ellis is one of the best second-round draft picks of all time in the league, not just the last decade. I mean, this guy was a 5-star recruit out of high school, committed to college, but changed his mind and entered the draft, where the Warriors stole him with the 40th pick in 2005.
First trip to the line for him here.
Numbers this year at the line below 70, so when he's getting to the line, not nearly as effective as you'd like.
And guys, this has not been a season to remember for him at the free throw line, certainly to this point.
He's perfect from the line this time. Getting back to Monte Ellis. Had he gone to college for even 1 year, I think he would have probably been a top 10 pick. But you look at what he's brought to the table over his career. Points and assists, rebounds, steals, playmaking. His production has been astounding.
You know, he's one of those unsung players. He never gets voted to the All-Star game. Never gets spoken about as one of the top guards in this league. But you look at the body of work and you ask his competitors throughout this league, and they're going to tell you that guy's as tough as they get.
Hits the front of the rim and out. Chicago leading. Time now for an injury report. Now for an update on Jose Calderon's injury. Let's go to Doris Burke.
Hey, Kevin, I spoke with head athletic trainer for the Chicago Bulls. He told me that it doesn't look too serious. That is going to make things very hard on them in what is still a very young season. Hopefully, as early as it is, he has time to recover and help this team down the road. Guys?
Thank you, Doris, for the update. We appreciate it, and we really hope for the best as always.
And he's a tough guy. My guess is he'll be back before we know it, and better than ever.
Greg, I sure hope you're right. I mean, there are just so many uncertainties when it comes to dealing with injuries, though. Let's hope for the best.
Indiana moving it around. And once again, off the mark by Indiana.
I'm shocked that it didn't turn into 3 points. I mean, he makes you pay on those nearly every time.
But they get it back. McDermott. And they'll keep possession. And good on the basket. Hook it. Here's T. And the Pacers call time here.
You know, no doubt last year a bit of a loss for Paul George. I mean, he had to sit out most of it after that gruesome leg injury in the Team USA scrimmage.
Some changes for Chicago. Gibson comes in for Mirotic, and it's Grant in for Jose Calderon. And a change for the Pacers. Mahimi's checked in for Turner. It's gone now in the third quarter. It's George on the wing. They get it again. Here's Teague. Goes up again. He kicks to Mahimi. And that comes off the assist by Jeff Teague. Mahimi's got his second bucket tonight.
And that's another assist for a team that is putting on the clinic on how to share the ball.
And I love the mentality that they've had. If a shot isn't there, they're not forcing it. They're moving it side to side until they finally get the one they want.
All right, let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Hey, Kevin, during that last break, I heard Frank Vogel addressing his team. He made it clear that their offense needed to run through Paul George. Coach detailed the ways to ensure he's the one in charge out there, with the ball in his hands and the rest of the players falling in line behind him. There's still plenty of basketball left to play. these adjustments play out, Kev. It'll be interesting.
Thanks a lot, Doris. Ellis, left side. Goes back up. Lays it in without an inch of room around him. Ellis has got 12 points in the game.
Nice work on the inside. Hard to get that one up and over the big fella.
Well, it's not supposed to be easy down there, and a little artistry on the inside helped him make it happen.
Gibson with the screen on Ellis. Butler kicks to Gibson, and he throws it down hard with one hand.
And, guys, this game won't be close for long if they keep giving up dunks like that.
No, it won't, Jay. You're right. A glaring error defensively and letting him get all the way to the basket that time.
But it's only 2 points. I mean, it was flashy, no doubt, but still, it only counts for 2. 2 is all.
Not sure what the D was doing there. Clearly a breakdown. You can ill afford to give a guy like him that good a look. Huge hole in the defense that possession. He didn't waste any time cutting through it.
Chicago has gone 0-2 from deep to start things here in the second half. Grant dishes to Lopez. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up. Let's take a moment now to check out the top scorers around the league. Third is Jimmy Butler.
You know what, Kevin? If you can put up big numbers every game, you put your team in excellent position to win. There's no question about that. A guy like this is definitely one of the keys to having a successful offense.
The free throw drops for Grant.
And injuries once again were a central theme of the Bulls season last year. Losing Rose was one thing, but then having Jimmy Butler lose a lot of time put them in such a tough spot.
Mike Dunleavy, he's checked in for Chicago. Hill, he's checked in for Indiana. Lawson comes in for Jeff T. And Grant drops them both. And for the Bulls and injuries, a lot of teams plan for these type of things. There's only so much Clark can do to mitigate losing your starting backcourt.
But I tell you, great respect and admiration for the Bulls for how they fought through the difficulty. I mean, their front court did what they could. The injuries, once again, I thought turned the Bulls from championship contenders to just a playoff team.
You look at the numbers for Robin Lopez, Clark, they won't blow you away, but his impact is a lot bigger.
Exactly, Kevin. I mean, he's unselfish as a player, does all the little things. He's not focused on his numbers or shot attempts, and that's a welcome deal for coaches and teammates. He just wants to help his crew win.
And the first one at the line is good.
And speaking of the intangibles for Robin Lopez, he's great at boxing out for rebounds and setting screens offensively. Again, things that there really aren't stats that are kept, but those are ways you can impact the game. And those are the kind of plays that often go overlooked.
So he picks up just one from the line that time.
And Lopez, or as they like to call him, Rolo, an elite rim protector. Just a really good shot blocker, but he doesn't chase blocks. He just challenges every shot inside without foul.
For Chicago, they've gone 4 of 9 from the floor so far in the third. Gibson the screen, out to the right wing. Stolen by George. And now Ellis running the floor all by himself.
There's PG creating for a teammate. Terrific dime drop.
Here's Grant. Pass to Gibson. Dunleavy kicks to Gibson. Lawson against Grant. Gibson. How's that for an answer? Right back with the dunk.
Rising high to throw that one down.
Sky high. Fantastic one-hand jam.
Nice way there, guys, to finish up that possession.
Hill passes to Ellis. That doesn't go either for Ellis.
Well, I think he kind of alligator armed that one. Short stroke. After doing a nice job to get open, he didn't finish the shot.
Grant kicks to McDermott. Lopez a screen. 5 on the clock. McDermott dishes to Grant. And there's the shot clock violation. Couldn't get the shot off in time.
And a quick review, looking at some numbers here for Ty Lawson. He's putting up about 5 points a game, and it's been a bit of a struggle for him. I mean, he can get down on himself at times. He's just got to keep working, and I think things will turn around.
Yeah, this is where his character gets tested, Greg. I mean, his will to fight through adversity is a question mark, but I think he's got a good chance.
And the shot is good.
Watch out. Now that he's got his first 3 of the half, there might be more in store.
The Bulls have gone just a bit under 50% from the field since halftime. 5 out of 11. Gibson the screen. Back to Grant. Gibson the screen. McDermott passes to Dunleavy. They shoot again. It's stolen by Hill. Outside, George. Lawson right side. Ellis outside. From downtown. Here's the foul. It's on Mahinmi. That's his 3rd foul of the game. Portis is checked in for the Bulls. Tony Snell comes in for McDermott. Then for the Pacers, C.J. Miles comes in for George. Rodney Stuckey subbed in for Ellis. Here's Grant. Kicks to Gibson. Now the dish to Snell. Down low and stolen by Lawson. And now Stuckey running the floor all by himself. And now we'll get a perspective here on the hustle game, how it's been going for the Pacers.
The activity level defensively, I've really been impressed with. There's been an attack mode on the defensive end.
They've repeatedly gotten out on the break tonight as well and scored a lot of baskets in transition.
Grant kicks to Gibson. Shot clock at 5. Grant dishes to Snell. And stolen by Stuckey. Mike Dunleavy is going to pick up the foul. That is his first foul of the game. Some changes for Chicago. Mirotic is checked in for Gibson. And it's Calderon in for Grant. Indiana also making some changes. Turner comes in for Mahinmi. And it's Teague in for Ty Lawson. Teague against Calderon. Teague drives in, and here's Miles outside, kept alive.
How about the determination? Now that's what we call competing for a rebound.
And here's Calderon, dishes it to Dunleavy. Feeds it to Mirotic, 4 on the clock. Shot to stop the drought, and so he draws the foul on the shot. A trip to the line to shoot 2.
You know, the Pacers ended up in 4th place in the Central Division last year, guys, and that's not quite what they were used to after taking the division the previous 2 years and getting to the Eastern Conference Finals in the playoffs.
Okay, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
That free throw missing. Looking at last year with the Pacers, with Paul George out, the Pacers knew it would be tough to win the Central again, and they still played decently, though, going 8-8 in divisional games.
And the Pacers played admirably. I mean, the division just got a lot tougher. If the Pacers bounce back, you could easily see 4 of the Central Division members making the playoffs in the near future.
So neither attempt will fall that time for them. Pacers leading by 3. Here's Stuckey. Rebound collected by Snell. Snell's got 6 rebounds here tonight. Dunleavy's shot is off.
Just tentative in the paint, lacking a little bit of confidence, allowed the defender to recover and contest that shot.
Miles, that's good.
not too much respect shown to him by the defenders.
Chicago's gotten blank from three-point land so far in the third. Still 0 for 3. Calderon kicks to Mirotic. A pass to Portis. He dishes it to Snell. Shot to stop the run. Good as that jump shot falls. Snell's got 9. Indiana's gone 3 of 7 from three-point range here in quarter number 3. And Teague, here we go. Goes back up. And Turner with the lay-in. Turner's got the lead up to 6 now for the Pacers.
They are not rotating nearly quickly enough on defense down low. Got to get quicker there.
Just no resistance on the interior.
Calderon passes to Portis. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. It's going to be on Miles Turner.
At the line for the Bulls, 2 shots.
And he knocks down the first one. Butler, he's checked in for the Bulls. And Indiana with a change here, too. Young's checked in. Both good from the line that time. Here's Indiana. They're on a 14-6 run. Stuckey up top, defended by Butler. Young. It's rebounded by Portis. Portis has got his 5th rebound right now in the game. Calderon with picked up by Stuckey. Mirotic has a wide open look. The shot's good on the assist by Calderon. Calderon's got his 3rd assist on the night. To the middle. Here's Young. Count the bucket coming off a perfectly placed assist. Young's got his 2nd basket.
They haven't been as aggressive from outside as they were in the first half. They're playing smart with the lead. I like that. They're being very selective and deliberate in their offense. That's a good strategy when you're on top.
Portis can't get it to go.
Oh, that's terrific defense there. That's how you protect the rim.
And there's the foul. It's on Tony Snell. That's his first foul. 30 seconds left to play in the third. Now the feed to Stuckey. Teague against Calderon. Teague dishes to Turner. It's hauled in by the Bulls. Mirotic has got 8 rebounds in this game. Butler attacking, and he gets it to go. Butler's got 4 points in the quarter. There's 10 seconds left to play here in the third. To the inside. Young. They get it back.
And typically he has the touch to finish when he's in tight, but not sure on that possession.
It's still anybody's game as we've reached the end of 3. It's the Pacers up by 1. From the United Center in Chicago. Back in a moment. All right, the fourth quarter of action getting underway. We've had a great one so far with both sides coming to play. Now Teague. And a look at the 5 for the Pacers to start the fourth quarter. Teague out there with Ellis. Then it's Paul George. Then it's Young. And it's Turner in at the 5. Chicago trailing here. Mirotic sets the screen for McDermott. Mirotic the screen to take the lead. Here's Lopez. And he misses the go-ahead basket. Pacers shooting has been wayward so far. Only 37% from the floor. Ellis, that's good.
Just a great job of attacking on the break.
Yeah, you know, exploding to the basket like that, Greg, just as soon as that ball was going the other way, that's exactly exactly how you want to do it. Right back to the basics there, using the one-hand slam for that one.
Doesn't he make the basics look pretty exceptional?
Yeah, he does. They look sweet when he does them.
And they better stay with those basics because this game is still yet to be determined.
And he gets it to go.
That's a clean look they gave him there, fellas, and he drains those.
So it's Chicago now. Sets in motion a 4-game road trip for him. Calderon with it. Pass to Mirotic. Tries it from 19. Ball's knocked loose.
There's another opportunity, and everything's going right for these guys.
Now the Pacers moving it up. Lets it go from 11. Tries again. A nice shot by Teague. Now it's a 5-point Indiana lead.
You know what? They're winning, though, despite the fact that he has just been really off.
Mirotic, the screen. Pass to Butler. Rejected by Young, but he recovers it. Second chance shot. Tries yet again, and can't hit the shot, but they're saying he got hacked, so he'll head to the free throw line. That one on George. And as usual, he's the one directing traffic out there, guys.
And guys, he always has such a firm grasp of exactly what the game plan is. He's always talking, making sure that all 5 guys are on the same page.
The first one falls.
And guys, what a strange rookie campaign for Dougie McBuckets. I mean, he entered the draft as a polished sharpshooter. The Bulls traded up in the first round to get him, and he ended up playing 9 minutes a game over the course of last season.
Taj Gibson's checked in for Mirotic. No good on the second free throw. And on the topic of Doug McDermott, one of the most decorated college players in recent history, and Clark, you called a lot of his games.
Yeah, enjoyed watching him play, and I still think he has a bright future. Just never found any real rhythm. Averaged only 3 points a game, but he didn't get much playing time. So look for him to bounce back in the years going forward.
Thaddeus Young provides a lot of things, Clark. Solid on both ends of the floor. You can plug him into almost any lineup and make it work.
Yeah, he's an ideal basketball player because of his versatility. I think that's one of his greatest strengths. Not only can he play the 3 or 4, he can go inside and outside too.
And he sinks the second.
And guys, when you talk about Thaddeus Young, last year was another solid season for him. Excellent job finishing around the rim as usual. Solid rebounding numbers, but still trying to improve his consistency from the 3. He started the season strong in that department and kind of fell off a bit at the end.
And again, Chicago, no good. And again, Indiana running the floor. 13 feet away. Great D that time from Gibson. Bulls trail by 5. Here's Calderon. And Turner with the block. And they'll keep possession. Calderon kicks to Gibson. He feeds it to Butler. Gibson the screen. From deep. But they get it back.
Way to play the boards and come away with the offensive rebound. He's going to play his way right onto the bench and out of the game if he continues to shoot it like he has so far in this quarter.
And gobbled up that rebound and went straight into attack mode on the putback.
He is one of the most determined rebounders, Clark, we have got in the NBA.
Yeah, you're calling it right, Kevin. I mean, he gets so many second chance points because of how hard he works to get to the rebound.
Time called here. Indiana decides to talk it over.
Man, Thaddeus Young, he's really entering the prime of his career right now at age 27. Hard to believe he's now in his 9th season. Only spent 1 year in college. Still plenty of room to grow.
now Doris Burke has an update from the sidelines.
I was able to listen in on what Frank Vogel had to say to his team. As this game enters winning time, and it really could go either way, he wanted the chance to check in, make sure they're all on the same page, and sticking to the game plan to close it out. Kevin?
And we're about 3.5 minutes into the fourth quarter. Pass to George from the baseline. That one a little long. Bulls trail by 3. Gibson passes to Calderon. Gibson dishes to Calderon. And now here's George, the fast break opportunity. Rebound by the Bulls. Now here's Calderon. He kicks to Lopez. Turner comes with the double team. Shot from 12. And the shot falls short this time. Pacers leading by 3. To the paint. Got a piece of it. Lopez with the steal. Here's McDermott. Can't tie it up as that one misses. For Indiana, they've gone 3 of 8 here in the fourth quarter. Outside T. A second chance effort, and Gibson sends it back. Chicago's gone 0-3 so far in the fourth quarter from long range. McDermott gets to Calderon. The shot by Butler, nobody around. That falls, nice speed this time from Jose Calderon. Calderon's got his 4th assist in this one. Outside T. On the wing, George. Inside, here's Turner. Uses the glass to finish the layup. And the Pacers lead by 2.
Great unspoken communication between teammates leading to the nice assist and the easy score.
Paul George really making a difference here.
He's in one heck of a groove with the scoring. They're going to talk it over and try to figure out how to slow him down.
Chicago calls timeout. And here are the Bulls now, trailing by 2. Outside Butler. There's the dish to Calderon. Lopez kicks to Gibson. And he makes no mistake on the slam dunk.
Vital basket there. This is just the time and really just the situation when he looks to take over.
Teague, the pass to George. Outside Turner. Lopez over to help. Here's Young. Here's Turner. And they're going to count the bucket and send him to the line. It could be a 3-point play.
And you know what? He's shaking off the cold shooting performance from the first half.
What a performance. Just look at the game for Turner. He's got 16 rebounds and 3 blocks. He's piling up the rejection to go along with the tremendous work he's done on the glass.
It's been about the paint and the way he's been able to control it all game long.
Unable to get the ball in bounds. They get called for the 5-second violation.
They're obviously starting to lose some of their focus here, committing more and more turnovers as the game goes along. Not a good sign.
On the inbound, and Ellis the bucket on the assist by Turner. And it's a 5-point Indiana lead.
Well, they were sleeping on defense. The defense really didn't do its job. I mean, a little slow to react to the ball getting into the paint. That's costly.
And at this stage of a tight game, the tired legs really start to show. A defense becomes vulnerable if you can continue to pound it inside.
Pacers leading by 5. Teague drives in. Gibson with the steal. That's a 2 from Butler. Rejected by Teague. Second shot opportunity. Butler can't get that one to fall.
That's one he knows he should have drained.
From 13, Ellis can't get it to go. Chicago's gotten just 1 of 4 3-pointers to go down for them here in the fourth. And it's Gibson finishing it off.
Rising high to throw that one down.
Sky high. Fantastic one-hand jam.
Nice way there, guys, to finish up that possession.
Ellis kicks to Young. Good, and the assist goes to Ellis. 8 points here for Thaddeus Young.
And that's right where they wanted to go with the ball in rhythm.
Teague against Calderon. Kicks it to Lopez. Wants to get it to Butler and does. And the shot is good. Butler's got 9 points now in just the second half.
And they'll be counting on even more points from him. That's essential if they're going to pull this game out.
Teague against Calderon. Teague drives in. Lopez with the block. And that's out of bounds. Indiana will retain possession. Mirotic is checked in for Taj Gibson. And a change for the Pacers. Rodney Stuckey's checked in for Monte Ellis. Shot clock at 5. Stuckey outside. 3-pointer. That's good. Stuckey's got the lead up to 6 now for the Pacers.
And guarding him on the perimeter isn't a priority for them right now, but if this continues, it will be.
Calderon kicks to Lopez. Calderon against Teague. Here's Butler. Can't get it to go. Good work defensively by Stuckey. Pacers leading by 6. And Teague, here we go. And Butler sends it back. And Mirotic kicks to McDermott. Dishes it to Calderon. And some nice ball movement here by Chicago. Here's Butler. And it's sent back by George. And now the fast break. George with the ball. Feeds it to Young. Back to George. Second chance effort. Young's shot is off.
And this is why you need good defenders on the interior to contest shots.
Yeah, Greg, making every shot a hard one, even the shots in close.
Good on the shot.
You can't afford to get him that kind of a look.
Well, you know, he came off a good screen, but still, as a defender, you've got to do a better job of fighting over and through that.
And there's the pass to Teague. And out of bounds it is. Last touch by Mirotic. From deep, George. And it's George again missing.
And he shot the lights out in that first half, but seems to have lost some of his momentum after the break.
McDermott dishes to Mirotic. And the shot is good. Indiana leading. Teague kicks to George. Looking for Young. He gets it there. And it's Chicago with the rebound. Butler's got his 6th rebound on the night. Calderon against Teague. McDermott, no one around him. Chance there to take the lead. Missing. To the middle. Looking to end his cold spell. And Teague finishes inside. Teague's got 4 this quarter.
And after a scoreless first half, you're starting to see signs of life here in the second.
Chicago has gone 2 of 5 on 3-point shots since the end of the third quarter. The 8-foot Butler. The shot's good on the assist by Calderon. 21 points for Butler.
4 of their last 5 makes came off of a high-quality shot inside.
Textbook. Really, when you look at how they're playing, they are having their way down low.
Time called here. Indiana decides to talk it over. They're in front by 1. We've got 1:48 left in the fourth quarter. We've got 1:48 left in the fourth quarter. Turner with a screen on Butler. And George, here we go. Rebound by Butler.
Not a quarter to remember as far as his offense is concerned.
Yeah, you know, he's not making any kind of impact for them at that end of the court right now.
Two on the double team. The feed now to Mirotic. And that misses. That would have put him up. Indiana's gone 1 of 3 from outside the arc since we've reached the fourth quarter. George with the ball. Butler covering. Butler against George. The kick out to Teague. And it's a defensive 3-second violation. Good, Stuckey.
Kevin, right now, they're doing a good job at the line. They're hovering around 83, 84, 85% from the strike. And that's good stuff. I mean, that's well done.
And the Pacers call time here. They're up by 2. 1:05 left in the fourth quarter of this one. Left in the game. And George, here we go. And fouled hard that time. They'll get to the line and shoot 2.
It's been tough for them to try to slow down George. He's got 19 points, and he's drained 3 3-point bombs so far.
Don't stop. Don't hesitate. Keep firing from out there when the shot's falling like this.
Hits the first one, and that makes it a 3-point lead.
You know, they've really improved at the line from the first half. Things have gotten a lot better. They've gotten there a good number of times, and they've converted a high percentage of it.
Second one is good. In both at the line, and it's a 4-point ball game.
That was a critical trip to the strike. They have a 2-possession lead now.
Chicago's gone a disappointing 2 of 6 on 3-point attempts here in the fourth. Mirotic the pass to Lopez. And fouled hard that time. They'll get to the line and shoot 2. It's going to be on Miles Turner.
Robin Lopez at the line for the Bulls. 2 shots.
Okay, gentlemen, 2 shots. 2 shots.
First free throw is good, and that narrows the lead down to just 3. And he is unable to get the second one.
He gets them to within 1 possession, but that miss puts a lot of pressure on their defense.
Thaddeus Young on the wing, defended by Butler. Count it! And Chicago has possession.
And it's close, but, you know, didn't get on balance quick enough.
Yeah, and as quick as players are at this level, in this day and age, I mean, you've got to be perfect in your anticipation to draw the charge.
2 shots.
He drops the first one, and that shrinks the margin to just 4. And so he makes both from the line.
And now you're in a great position thanks to those clutch free throws. One possession game now.
29 seconds left in the fourth quarter. This is a huge possession.
And this is where all the hard work pays off. You have to be able to execute under pressure.
And there's the 3-second call, this one on the defense. And the technical free throw is good.
Man, that technical's really a killer. Takes it from a one-possession game to 2.
Here's George, and now we've got the intentional foul. So the first one drops, and that puts them up by 5. Ball game.
Those foul shots put them that much more in the driver's seat.
Trail by 6. 19's a quarter. What's your take, guys?
And they still got a little time to play with, so a 3 and a quick foul could make things interesting.
Yeah, but they need some help. They're going to need some help anywhere they're in.
Finished off.
Such a strong finisher on the
speed. It's left to play in the final quarter. Guys, your thoughts?
Yeah, they can call all the timeouts they want, but really, I don't think it matters at this point.
Yeah, I'm ready to go home just like the players are. There's nothing they can do. Go. Get out of here. Game done.
He summed it up.
I was going to say, yeah, I don't think we need to comment after that.
Adios. So it's Indiana picking up the win. They came in here and took care of business like they were the home team.
And Kevin, how about the mental toughness that this group showed?
As we send you over to Doris Burke from the sideline. Doris?
Guys, Paul George standing by with me here. And Paul, first, congratulations on the win. What's the attitude you have as a team right now?
Continue to, play together. And we can just stick to that, keep working, staying confident, keep defending, and knocking shots down. We'll be all right.
Paul, thank you so much. Guys, over to you.
Thank you, Doris. Great interview once again. And that'll wrap it up, folks. For Greg Anthony, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke, this is Kevin Harlan saying thank you for watching the NBA presented by 2K Sports. And now time to send it over to the award-winning Ernie Johnson for the postgame show.
The 2K Sports postgame show.
Ernie Johnson here again with Shaquille O'Neal and Kenny Smith. Without further ado, let's present to you our Jordan Player of the Game, Paul George. Kenny, what did you like about his game?
Well, Paul George showing us again tonight why he is one of the premier wing players in the NBA. We know that defensively he's always going to do the job, but he's just as valuable on the other end, scoring off the catch or the dribble.
I thought this performance he needed to deliver, Ernie. He needed this game. You look at how he's been playing recently, and this was huge for him to come out and have a great night. You can really tell a lot about a player how they break out of a slump. He responded exactly the way he needed to.
And that'll do it for our broadcast tonight. Hope you enjoyed the show. For me and Kenny Smith, Shaquille O'Neal, and Kevin Harlan, and the entire 2K Sports crew, have a wonderful evening.